Hey everybody, I'm Spencer, and this is Pictomania. The box says, Pictomania is the drawing game with no teams and no waiting. Everyone gets to draw, and everyone gets to guess all at the same time. Is that possible? Is that accurate? Let's find out. Here's everything that you'll use to play Pictomania. Please pardon my mess of tokens. What happens in the game is, everybody gets a color. I pick red all the time, so I'll get a red pencil and these red answer cards. There are numbers on them, and I'll show you how to use those here in just a second. Everybody will also get a set of colored tokens in their color, and you get a number depending on how many people are playing. So the more people playing, the more tokens you'll get. Once you get all that set up, then everybody will get, at random, a letter and a number card, which will be the coordinates, if you will, of the word that you're going to have for each round. So in round one, we use the green cards. They're the easiest ones. So my word is C1. So I look at row or column C, word 1, and that is sheep. So my word is sheep for the game. And I will be drawing a sheep on my pad of paper here. So each paper, it's double-sided, and you fold it up, and each of the sections is for each round. So there are 4 rounds. Each time you total your score, there's a nice little star on the bottom of each section where you can put your score on there. And then a big star on the other side where you can put your final score once you're done scoring the last round. Now each round, as I said, the first one starts with green cards, and then they get progressively more difficult for each round that you play. So let's look at some of these green cards here. I've got giraffe, zebra, rhinoceros, elephant, crocodile, lion, and tiger. So you see that there are different animals, and they're not exactly the same, but they still share some similarities, making it difficult, at least in theory, depending on your skill level. Let's say I'm really bad at drawing a zebra. My zebra may look like a rhinoceros, and so if that's the case, then I need to take art lessons. But let's look. So I got a C1. I've got sheep. So I'm going to draw my sheep here. Going to look like a cloud with legs, probably. The great thing about this game is you don't have to be a good drawer to do well. Do you like my sheep? Okay. Sheep's done. Everybody's drawing in this round. There's no timer, so once everyone has their word that they're trying to draw, and you say go, everyone just starts drawing. When you're done drawing, you set your drawing down, and you're going to start to look at everybody, what they're drawing. You can even guess before they're finished drawing their picture. And the way that you guess is you take one of your number cards, look at all of the words, and try to find the one you think that it is. So I think that my friend over there is drawing ski goggles. So I'll take my number 1 and put the card over by their picture. Oops, can you see that? There. Put the card over there by their picture. And then anybody after me will put their card on top of mine. That way we know whenever we reveal them who scored first, because that matters. Now you can decide to guess everybody's picture, or you can only decide to guess some. Some people may be such terrible drawers that you can't even begin to come up with something that they drew. So it's not worth guessing, because you can lose points. Here's what happens. When you're done guessing, you go and there are these black point tokens in the middle of the table. Whoever gets done guessing first will get first pick at the tokens on the table. So I'm done first. I'm going to take the 3-point token and put it in my pile. What will happen then is, after everyone's done drawing, you'll do the scoring. I start off as the red player, and in a 3-player game, I've got a red 3-point token, a 2-point token, and a 1-point token. Now, as we go through, and I look and see, and I will reveal cards to see who was right. The first person that got a right answer will get my 3-point token. Let's give it to them. The next person will get a 2-point token, and then finally, the third person will get a 1-point token. But let's say that the third person did not get it right. This token will stay here, and then it will count against me for points in this round. So I'll go through and we'll calculate scores, or I'll see if I get any points from some other players, and then I will subtract my 1 point from that total. The other thing is, with the black numbers, if you miss any guesses, if you are incorrect, you will put your incorrect card guess in the center of the table, and then once you're done doing all the scores for each picture, whoever has the most incorrect answers, their black number points will count against them as negative. So you don't want to just to guess, because there is a penalty if you're guessing incorrectly. Now, of course, you can be incorrect and not lose points as long as somebody else is a worse guesser than you. But that's how the points work. After the first round, you'll move on, you'll clear the cards, and you'll go on to the yellow deck, which is a little bit more difficult. In this card, we have Eiffel Tower, Big Ben, Statue of Liberty, Sydney Opera House, the Colosseum, Golden Gate Bridge, and London Bridge. So you can see that they're all similar, making it more difficult when you're drawing to differentiate between each one. Next we have the orange one, buffalo, bighorn sheep, yak, moose. Again, all similar. And then the most difficult are the red cards. Gathering, meeting, diplomacy, discussion, all of those things might be difficult to separate from, but you get the idea of that's where the challenge comes in. If your pencil starts to go down or whatever, you can just grab the pencil sharpener that's included and give it a good twist or two. And, oops. Anyway. Okay, let's break it down. Simplicity. Is the game simple? It starts out simple, and then it increases in difficulty, which is awesome. It's like you get a little bit of warm-up before you start to have to really use your brain and your drawing skills, if you have those. Now, what I like about it is that if you have people that aren't very skilled, or, it just becomes more difficult, you can play at the different difficulty levels for the entire game. So I have a 6-year-old, and then I've got, I think, an 8-year-old niece and a 10-year-old niece. Sorry, girls. But we played Pictomania, and playing only on the green cards, and we had a lot of fun. In fact, my 6-year-old is always like, "Can we please play Pictomania?" She's not very good, but she likes to draw and she likes to guess. She has a lot of fun with it. So really, I think that you can play this young and just keep it at the green cards. I think I would call this a gamer's drawing game, and here's why. There's quite a lot of strategy beyond just drawing. Now, don't get me wrong, I love telestrations. It's so much fun to go along and draw pictures of that game of telephone, but with drawing, and then you end up with some very interesting pictures. But I know I don't play that for the scoring system. It's all really just for fun. But if you want a drawing game that is also what I consider a gamer's game, this is for you. Because of the scoring system, the way those little tokens work, whenever, if you are the first to guess, and you get it right, you get the most points, and then so on. If you finish guessing really fast, you could be the first to grab one of those black tokens. But it's a risk, because if you guess too fast and you're wrong, well, then you may get all of them wrong, and you'll end up with negative points. You have to get everybody to guess your question or guess your picture, or you'll end up with negative points as well. You've got to draw, not necessarily well, but in a way that gets people to guess it. It's all about being successful. Sure, you will end up with silly pictures. It's going to happen. But if you can draw well enough to get everybody to guess your picture, you'll get rid of all of your tokens, and you won't have any negative points. Because of all of that, I think there's strategy involved. You can choose not to guess everybody, so that you don't take the chance of getting negative points from the black tokens. You can also choose to take it slow. You may not get as many points, but you will, you won't have to risk losing points by guessing incorrectly. There's a lot to think about with balancing everything out. There's a little bit of pushing your luck. So if you want to try a drawing game, but you want a little bit more game to it, I definitely think Pictomania is the game for you. A couple other things that I like about it. Thanks for the pencil sharpener, CGE. I think it's awesome that you include that in there. I can just go sharpen the pencils, and we're ready to go. And you don't have to worry about the dry erase markers and wiping all of that off and them drying out. You got lots of pencils. They're going to last you a long time. Then you have what I think is this similarity to Codenames. If you've played Codenames, you know that when you're trying to get your team to guess the words, you have to be careful to not get them to guess either the other team's words or where the assassin might be. So you have to strike that right balance of the clues that you give, but make sure that they don't accidentally lead your team to the wrong word. And there's a similarity there in this game too. You have the words that are very similar, and so it would be easy for you to draw a picture that looks like something else, which then, of course, would get everybody to guess your question or guess your picture wrong. And so it's a neat similarity, and I like that. That's one of the things I loved about Codenames, and it's one of the things I like about this game as well. It gives it a nice extra challenge. So, let's revisit. Pictomania is the drawing game with no teams and no waiting. Everyone gets to draw and everyone gets to guess, all at the same time. Yes, it's true. Everyone gets to draw all at the same time. There are no teams. You don't have to rely on anybody else to draw well. You can play this. There's no downtime, except for whenever you are done guessing and you're waiting on everyone to finish. But that doesn't mean you have to wait your turn and draw. Everything is all at your own pace for each individual player. And I really like that you can take your time or go really fast. So how do I rate Pictomania? Well, on a scale from Spark to this game is lit, I give it a campfire. Lots of fun, and I definitely recommend you check it out. Also, I need you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow the Lighten Up Initiative on all of the social media channels, and finally, support the Lighten Up Initiative at patreon.com/HeyLightenUp.